Ukrainian defenders liberated the village of Nadia, which means hope in English, in the Luhansk region. This was announced by the 3rd Separate Assault Brigade on Sunday. According to footage posted on their Telegram channel, 3 square kilometers of the Nadia settlement, located in the embattled Luhansk region, were liberated from Russian forces. The brigade stated that the operation cost the Kremlin 2 months and 2 motorized infantry regiments, both of which were wiped out. A Ukrainian HIMARS strike took down 4 Russian military helicopters in the Belgorod region, reported the Special Operations Forces on Monday. According to footage posted by the SOF command, the HIMARS system was used in a cooperation with the Ukrainian Defense Intelligence Forces and artillery units to eliminate the helicopters at an airstrip while they were rearming and refueling for surprise attacks on Ukrainian defenders. The wrecked Russian equipment includes Ka-52 Alligator attack helicopters equipped with 30mm dual-feed autocannon and additional rocket pods carrying 20 S-8 or 5 S-13 aerial missiles. 2 more destroyed in the strike were Mi-8 transport helicopters, which can be used as an airborne command post, armed gunship, and reconnaissance platform.
Today is the second meeting between the Ukrainian and US teams in Saudi Arabia.
The Ukrainian and US sides met in the Saudi capital Riyadh on Sunday. When the talks started, the Ukrainian Minister of Defense Rustem Umerov posted on X that the agenda included proposals to protect energy facilities and critical infrastructure.
This time, at a more technical level, with our military, diplomats and representatives from the Ministry of Energy, our team is working in a fully constructive manner, and the discussion is quite useful.
Speaking ahead of the meeting in Saudi Arabia, US Special Envoy to the Middle East Steve Witkoff expressed optimism, noting that the talks will also cover the Black Sea.
I think that you're going to see in Saudi Arabia on Monday some real progress, particularly as it affects a Black Sea ceasefire on ships between both countries. And from that, you'll naturally gravitate into a full-on shooting ceasefire.
After the talks, Umerov stated that the discussion in Riyadh was productive and focused and addressed key points including energy. He added that Zelensky's goal is to secure a just and lasting peace for all Ukrainians and by extension all of Europe.
Since March 11, a proposal for unconditional ceasefire has been on the table and these attacks could have already stopped. But it is Russia that continues all this. Every night, every single day, it carries out the most cynical strikes. Without pressure on Russia, those in Moscow will continue to show contempt for real diplomacy and keep destroying lives.
On Monday, the US team began talks with the Russian side. However, Ukraine's delegation has remained in Riyadh in order to continue consultations with American officials after the US-Russian negotiations have concluded. The United States may request the return of kidnapped Ukrainian children from Russia as part of confidence-building measures. This was stated by the U.S. National Security Advisor Michael Waltz in an interview with CBS News. Waltz was questioned about whether the State Department halted funding for Yale University's program dedicated to tracking Ukrainian children abducted by Russia.
Secretary Rubio is conducting a review of all of those programs. I can't speak to that specific one, but I can say that President Trump has spoken to both leaders about prisoner exchanges. Both the Russians and Ukrainians exchange prisoners, nearly 200, immediately following their call. And he's also talked about the future of these children. So that's certainly first and foremost in kind of confidence-building measures.
According to the Bring Kids Back UA initiative, there are at least 19,546 reports of unlawful deportations and forced transfers of Ukrainian children. So far, only 1,243 have been returned home. Russian forces launched a drone strike on Kyiv, killing 3, a child among them, reported the Kyiv prosecution office on Sunday. A father and his 5-year-old daughter in the Holsivsky district and an 80-year-old woman in the Dniprovsky district of the Ukrainian capital were killed, wrote the city mayor Vitaly Klitschko.
She was around 80 years old. She didn't retire yet. The emergency service couldn't open the door to her apartment. The door got stuck and she was burned alive there. It is horrible, but here is what war is.
Overnight, Russia launched 150 drones on Ukraine. In Kyiv, the air raid alert lasted more than 5 hours throughout the night. According to the Kyiv City Military Administration, 10 civilians were wounded, with the youngest injured being an 11-month-old infant.
It is very scary. I don't know what else to say. I'm speechless.
According to President Zelensky, Russian forces launched more than 1,500 guided aerial bombs, 1,000 strike drones, and 15 missiles of various types over the course of the week, targeting civilians and civilian infrastructure. An additional 3 billion euros in military aid for Ukraine in 2025 was approved by Germany's Budget Committee in the Bundestag, the lower house of parliament. An additional 8.3 billion euros is planned for the period between 2026 and 2029. This was reported by Deutsche Welle. This new package comes in addition to the 4 billion euros in military support already allocated for Ukraine in Germany's 2025 budget. Final approval from Germany's upper house of parliament was a key step in securing additional defense funding. The spokesperson for the German Defense Ministry reported that the equipment delivered to Ukraine would consist of Iris-T air defense systems, guided missiles, radars, drones, combat vehicles, and light weapons. The drone coalition has decided to allocate 20 million euros from a joint fund to purchase intelligence, surveillance, and reconnaissance drones for Ukrainian forces. This will help Ukrainian defenders to scout their surroundings and increase the combat situation awareness of their units. According to the Ministry of Defense, the equipment is expected to be delivered within 3 months. Formed in February 2024, the drone coalition currently consists of 18 countries, among them Australia, Canada, Denmark, Latvia, and the UK. In the temporarily Russian-occupied Crimea, a passenger bus collided with a truck carrying stolen Ukrainian grain, killing 6 people. The incident took place on Monday near Simferopol airport, according to local Telegram channels. The bus, traveling from Arkadiivka, was carrying 32 passengers. Russian state news agency TASS reported that 21 people were injured, including 7 children. Ukrainian defenders used FPV drones to destroy a Russian R-330Z Zhitel electronic warfare system. This was reported by the Phoenix Strike UAV company, part of Ukraine's Revenge Brigade. According to a statement, Russian troops tried to break through in the direction of Ukrainian positions in the Donetsk region under the cover of this Zhitel system. However, as the unit added, the results of these attempts are predictable. Phoenix destroys all Russian targets. A Russian Su-25 jet crashed in Russia's Primorsk region, reported the Russian Ministry of Defense on Monday. According to a statement, the flight took off without any munitions equipped on board, and the aircraft crashed in the wilderness without causing any surrounding damage. Additional details are still being corroborated.